Hey everyone! Welcome back! Usually, in most Roblox horror games, you don't get much lore. They mostly rely on creepy graphics, heavy sound effects, and dark lighting to scare you. But every once in a while, a game adds deep lore to make things even scarier, and honestly, sometimes it really works. Today is a pretty special video for me because I've actually never done a lore-focused video on Roblox before, and pulling this all together was a huge challenge. But you're probably wondering, what game are we talking about today? Today, we are diving into Laurie's Nightmare. It's not a super popular game, but it has a story that is way deeper than you think. So, sit back, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Before we jump straight into the lore, let's talk about how the game actually works. The premise is simple: 6 children are trapped inside the dream of one of their friends, who is turned into a terrifying killer trying to stop everyone from escaping. To open the dream gates and get out, your team has to find and fix a random number of TVs, usually around 4, 5, or 7. Once they're all fixed, the gates open for just a short window. The gameplay is super interesting, but while you're playing, you'll start noticing hidden notes and text left behind by people who were there before you. And that's where the real story begins. If you check the newspaper right in the lobby from the Bloomberg Media Press, dated back to 1994, it reveals that the Bloxburgen mental institution was raided and investigated by state police. Why? Because they were caught conducting illegal bodily experiments involving the decomposition of human tissues. It led to the rotting and decapitation of classified mental patients, and the facility was immediately shut down and sealed off from the public. Interestingly, there's an ad for a pizza restaurant on the side, but the real star of the article is a staff member named Vicky Elizabeth. She was the whistleblower who reported the institution to the police, describing the experiments as mentally disturbing. That means Vicky actually worked inside that horrific place, saw what they were doing to the patients, and risked everything to expose them. Even after reading that newspaper, the puzzle pieces don't fully fit yet. We have to dig deeper. If you explore the hotel map, you'll find more chilling notes. One of them reads, "It was the Institute's fault, we shouldn't have agreed." Connecting this back to the mental institution, it implies the facility somehow tricked or forced children into becoming their next test subjects. Another paper uncovers a terrifying weapon. If for some reason the tape gets damaged, the seal will be broken and the nightmare released. The perfect weapon. The institution figured out that kids love watching cartoons on TV. So, they created special VHS tapes. When children popped a tape into a TV, it would trigger something called Experiment G. Notes left behind mention that the institution was panicking because their cover was blowing. Their veil as a mental institution was weakening, and they couldn't afford the public finding out about Experiment G, likely because Vicky Elizabeth had already gone to the police. Another recovered photo details the exact science. Through extensive brain induction, we can trap a child's nightmare inside a VHS tape. This is where things get really dark. A scientist named George left behind a desperate warning: this was never supposed to reach the children. I warned them, I begged. But scientists called it progress. George completely opposed using children, but his colleagues ignored him in the name of scientific progress. As another note puts it, the child wasn't the subject, the nightmare was. And now it's real. The institution's ultimate creation was the REM project. And looking through the project logs, we find the chilling truth: the current subject was 0178, a child named Laurie. Because the subject number is so high, it proves Laurie was far from the first child tested. However, one detail changes everything. While the kids weren't supposed to remember anything, one child from Playroom B, likely Laurie, retained their memories. To help anyone else trapped in the nightmare, they secretly wrote warnings and messages all over the building. If you put it all together, the full story of Laurie's Nightmare is a dark and sinister conspiracy. In 1994, the Bloxburgen mental institution was shut down by state police after staff member Vicky Elizabeth exposed their horrific bodily experiments. Desperate to keep their secret operations, known as Experiment G, hidden, the scientists expanded into the REM project. They used extensive brain induction to extract children's nightmares and trap them inside VHS tapes. Despite warnings from dissenting scientists like George, the institution weaponized these tapes. When children watched them on TV, their brains were induced, sealing them in a terrifying dream world where the nightmare manifested as a physical monster. Among the 178 test subjects was Laurie, who became the main killer haunting the dream. Yet, Laurie or another child managed to keep their memories, leaving behind hidden notes to help other kids survive, which brings us directly into the game, where 6 players must repair the TVs and escape before time runs out. Honestly, I think Laurie's Nightmare is an incredible Roblox horror game. It's not just about the gameplay, it has a genuinely well-written story, you just have to dig deep to find it. The only sad part is that the game isn't very popular. Thank you so much for watching this big video. As a creator who usually makes much shorter videos, this was a tough one to put together, but I really hope you enjoyed it. If you love this kind of deep dive storytelling video, let me know in the comments below. And as I always say, see you soon.